Morning, this is Brian. Today is Thursday, February 5th, 2026. And I'm back at the East Fortuna staging area here at Mission Trails. Looking for a little short adventure today. Today I'm planning to head out over by the Oak Canyon area, just underneath the Fortunas. Might go head up that way for a little bit today, and we'll see how that goes. I am right by this little visitor center, whatever this is. I've never actually been inside of it, but say I'm gonna go head out this way. So I'll be heading out to, hopefully, Oak Canyon. And if anything else pops up, we'll see. Some water running under there. Yeah, it's actually water running, despite the fact we haven't had any appreciable rain in so long. Alright, see where this adventure takes me today. Looks like Mission Trails has been planting natives over here. I'm kind of struggling, actually. A lot of this is it's like a lot of California bush sunflower and stuff. It's struggling. I mean, it's been just about record-breaking hot. Very, very, very extremely warm last month. This month's been off to a blazing hot start, actually. Yesterday I didn't go out and do anything. Could have gone to the mountains like I should have yesterday, but just wasn't having it. So they're trying to plant natives in here, which I hope take. Really hope take, because it'd be nice to see. I can see, yeah, a lot of natives planted here, which is great. So, like I said, let's hope they take. It's been a while since I've been to Oak Canyon, so we'll see how that goes today. Alright. Looks like we got a small water crossing here. Kind of surprised, considering how dry it's been lately. See if I can get across without getting soaked. I'm actually kind of surprised. Maybe go around the grass, maybe. That's crazy. I didn't expect there to still be water here. Let's see if I can find a place across. Oh shoot. Whoa. Guess I'm gonna get a little damp. Hey boy. Okay. Well, interesting. Okay, there's another one here. This one's just like a puddle. I'll just go around here, I guess. Actually, kind of surprised. Early out of the season, a few weeks ago, this wouldn't have surprised me, but since we've had almost no rain since just about a month ago, pretty interesting. So I'm joining up the Grasslands Crossing like I usually do when I go to Spring Canyon over there. This time though, I'm gonna go left. Go this way for a little while. There's where I was last week, Quai Pie Peak. I'm still not finished with that video. I'm a little slow to get it. My computer's been running painfully slowly. So I still have about a little over 20 minutes left on editing that video. That's before exporting it and uploading it. But should still be out before this video is up. Because of the way my computer's working, it'll probably be a while before I get this one up. Again, today is February 5th. It's a Thursday. So let's see. So I have options here. Which one should I take? Alright. Maybe I'll take the North Fortuna Perimeter Trail now. Leads up to this small, I think if I remember correctly, leads up to a small hill. It's Hill 619. I remember hiking that about a year and a half ago, back in August 2024. So we'll see. There's Hill 597. Unfortunately, no trails up to that one. I probably would have climbed it by now. Hill 619 is under North Fortuna. There's North Fortuna, and that's Hill 619. That's the hill. It's not even listed on Peak Bagger, but legally can't even access the actual highest point of it. And you know me, I follow the rules when I'm here at Mission Trails. Yeah, I think this should be it. Alright. Get some pretty decent views out of Oak Canyon from Hill 619. So I might hit that one up and then dip down into Oak Canyon. So we'll see how that goes. Now last week, like I said, last Friday, last day of my vacation, did a quick, just under 3 mile shot from Bushy Hill Trailhead because a lot of Junipero Serra is closed. So did a just under 3 mile shot to and from Quai Pie. Alright. I'm going to join this road here, which is continuous on the same track, perimeter trail, up towards this way. And I'll see you on the next update. Okay, so I pointed over there. That's not Hill 619. That is there. That's actually the Powerline Trail to North Fortuna. So that's Hill 619 underneath North Fortuna. So I was looking at it from the wrong angle. So I'm getting a decent little uphill Now I got a little downhill, and it's more uphill to get to near where the peak is. I said the actual hill itself, the summit of the hill, I should say, is not accessible to the public because there's no trail there. So the trail goes near it, but not quite to it. I think I noticed there's a gang of caterpillars on the trail today. Gang of caterpillars. These little guys here. Golden brown undersides, it looks like. Dark tops with some red on the middle, the dorsal part. Let's get a picture or two of these. There are just tons of them. Mostly on the side of the trail by the grass. And then the small herbs and shrubs. A couple of them are bravely trying to cross the road. Look at this. These things are everywhere. I'll have to do my research and see what species they become. What kind of moth or butterfly they become at maturity. Yeah, you can see the upper ramparts of Oak Canyon. All cloth and chaparral. So if you're hiking here today or around this time, just watch out and step on the caterpillars. I'm trying to watch where I step just a little more. All right. What's going to happen is this trail is going to wind its way around. It's going to wind its way, and then it's going to curve and start ascending towards Hill 619. So I remember this from the last time I was here. It's already decently warm outside. There's a thin high layer of clouds keeping me and this beautiful laurel sumac very lightly shaded right now. Alright, so I'm gonna bank a right here. Let's see what this sign says here first. But yeah, I'm gonna be going this way. Start climbing up the hill that way. Yeah, I'm already sweating pretty good. Alright, it's the North Fortuna Perimeter Trail. I'm going to be going up this way. Another hill I might hit today, depending on how I feel and how hot it gets. It's supposed to be cooler than yesterday, but still about 10 degrees or so hotter than it should be. Alright. Yes, so I went up to Hill 619 back in 2024, but I visited Spring Canyon, where I pointed on a previous clip. Alright, so start climbing up this and keep you posted. The hill's going to be up here somewhere. I'll see you on the next clip. There we go, another small water crossing. It's either a seep. I wonder if it's a seep or if it comes from a tributary of Spring Creek. Probably a seep, a seasonal seep. Maybe it is. Maybe it does come from Spring Canyon over that way. Maybe. Nah, I'm not sure. It's got to be a seep down there, a seasonal seep. Maybe it is fed by Spring Canyon. I don't know. First water crossings, pretty sure were from Spring Canyon, the creek. Yeah, it's definitely quite warm this morning. I think it's already in the 60s. I wonder where that leads. Just curious. Take a little brief detour. Just see where this goes. Just curious where this goes. I have a feeling probably won't lead anywhere new, but just a little curiosity. Look how green it is. This is more the north-facing slopes of these hills. Some of the flatter and more south-facing slopes, grass is already starting to turn brown. Starting to in spots. It's already starting to dry in here. Alright. Looks like this little road ends over here. I'm not going to go any further because then it's off trail, and if you see my videos, you know, stay on trail and mission trails. But I figured I'd check this little spot out just for the heck of it. Just for curiosity's sake. Alright. Return back and keep heading up towards Hill 619. Alright, so once I came, I'm going to re-emerge back on the North Fortuna perimeter trail up here. We are back on it again. Yeah, the clouds are thinning, so better get a little bit of a move on if I want to avoid it getting hot. Shouldn't be saying this in early February. Should not be saying this at all, but I am. All right, up I go. Yep, got some blooms here. Parish nightshade, Solanum parishii, starting to bloom up here. Nice little trail side treat. You start going towards midwinter. That's usually what you can expect. Oh, good, a little breeze. Feels nice. I am sweating. Okay. Gotta remember which one of these is the high point. And I can smell that black sage in the air too. You're not even really next to any. But Also, got California sagebrush, one of my favorites. But I can smell black sage more than I can smell that. Try to remember which one of these was the high point. Okay, let's see. Actually, I think I go up this way. I think. Got a little tiny hill over there. Go up this way here. This looks like this is it. Started getting some chaparral shrubs too. Yeah, that should be it. All right. See about by the top of this one. So, like last time, I got over here thinking this was the high point of the trail, but I think I gotta go around the other side. Or cross it through here, which is not really the best idea. So, I'm gonna break away here. Should take me a few feet higher. I think I did it again. It's supposed to be over there. I think that's what I did last time. So let's see. Go around this way. Here we go. All right. So what I'm gonna do is bank her right. This should take me to the highest trail point of Hill 619. Okay, so remember there was a little wooden barrier or fence. Like I said, I'm not leaving the trail. Just gonna hit the trail high point and call it a summit. Alright. Okay, well, I guess we'll call this the trail summit, or I'll just say this is it. Hill 619. It's listed as a spot elevation on the topo maps. Small hill. I don't think it's on Peak Bagger. I don't remember it being there. But get my summit selfie. I'll do a 360 up here. I'm going to start by looking north. That's over by Apex Benchmark. Hill 786 and Hill 861 way back there. West towards North Fortuna Mountain. South towards Quaipai Peak and Powell's Peak. Southeast out towards Cleveland National Forest and Kuchama on the right. Lions Peak in the middle. Lawson and Gaskill towards the left. You're looking southeast. East we got Viejas Mountain, Cuyamaca Peak, and El Cajon Mountain. And northeast, you can see 3 of the higher peaks of the Powell Range. Iron on the right, North Iron Mountain in the middle, and Woodson Mountain on the left. Oh, wait a minute, no. That's not, no, that's still North Iron Mountain. Never mind. No, I don't see the antennae up there. So actually, Iron Mountain, Iron View Top and Middle Summit, that middle hump, and then the left one is actually North Iron Mountain. Okay, back to the north towards the 52. Alright, I'm going to actually start working on my next objectives. Pretty cool summit. I'll maybe take a couple pictures up here. Show some of this beautiful black sage we have growing here, Salvia mellifera. Gently rub that leaf. Still full of moisture. There's a lot of black sage up here. It's a plant you can smell from very far away. All right. Alright, so now time to start descending. But what I did last time is I went over to the end of this small path here. You can get some pretty decent views. Get a few views down to Oak Canyon, where I'm most likely going to be heading next. So I'll see you over there at the power pole. Alright, so yeah, last time I was here at this viewpoint, yeah, that right there, there's the Oak Canyon Trail. Oh, not the Oak Canyon Trail, but the Fortuna Saddle Trail that comes out of Oak Canyon. There on the right in that gorge. That leads up from Oak Canyon up to Fortuna Saddle over there. This right here, it branches off from the Oak Canyon slash Fortuna Saddle trails, goes up and around these power poles, and it rejoins the Fortuna Saddle Trail. So if you're looking for an alternative, which with a much steeper start, that could be an alternative climb there if you're interested. Just follow the power lines until you get back to the Fortuna Saddle Trail. Definitely some good views. Maybe not completely unobstructed, but still get some pretty decent views of some of the rocky portions of Oak Canyon down there. Worth even a couple pictures before I move on. Alright, so now it's time to start heading down into the canyon. I haven't been to Oak Canyon in a while, so I kind of like to see something I haven't seen in a while. If you can get over all the power poles, like I can, if you can get over all that, this could be a pretty enjoyable little hike here. I enjoy it because I'm not hiking and climbing hills and checking out plants, so I'm happy for that. Alright, I think this leads to a dead end here if I remember correctly. Yeah, it should. Now, it's time to join the trails. See, I came up from that way, and I'm going to go down this way, see if I can get down into Oak Canyon. Let's see how this goes. Yep. Yes, got a sign for North and South Fortuna Mountains. So So this will lead down. We're actually going to start going into Oak Canyon now as we leave the rim of the canyon where Hill 619 sits. This actually starts descending towards Oak Canyon. This should make for a pretty interesting descent. On the way back, I won't have to climb this because I will be going down that way on the Oak Canyon trails. So I shouldn't have to reclimb all of this when I'll be probably tired and probably hot, as it is pretty bright and sunny now. But let's go take this down. I got some woolly ceanothus, a little bit of blooming on it, a little bit. This one hasn't really opened up too much yet. Some of them are, like I was climbing up Quai Pai last week, they were opening up a bit. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I don't let the power lines really ruin my vibe. I just appreciate the really rugged, hilly terrain around here. So I'm enjoying that aspect of it, focusing on the positive. All right, see you down the way, see what I find. Ooh, this is a very nice trail here, especially when it's all green. Yeah, we're definitely descending into Oak Canyon as we speak. But yeah, this is very beautiful. Very beautiful here. Yeah, that last picture, yeah, found some Ceanothus tomatosus that was bloom. Found a Ceanothus tomatosus that was pretty good. We come up on another one right now. Yeah, it's starting to open up pretty nicely, actually. Yeah. That's one of our earliest chaparral shrubs to bloom. Now, I'm saying shrubs specifically because the smaller herbaceous wildflowers a lot of times will even start earlier. But as for shrubs, Ceanothus tomatosus is one of the first indicators of spring, even though it's technically midwinter. And now we are in chaparral now, as evidenced by, once again, common chamise. Adenosoma fasciculatum, variety fasciculatum. It's going to be ways off before that one blooms. Yeah, a nice little carpet of chamise chaparral here on the southeast facing slope. Yep. Shouldn't have to reclimb this on the way back. I'm kind of glad. I might go around the North Fortuna perimeter and try to see if I can summit another hill. Not that far from North Fortuna, but Hill 860. It's actually the North Fortuna, or the, should I say, the Fortuna Perimeter Trail actually goes right over it. Goes directly over it. So that one I can actually hit the high point. Oh, this is beautiful. This is a really good section here. Yeah, I get some really good views of Upper Oak Canyon here. Wow, this is incredible. This is incredible. I haven't been over on this part of the trail before. Yeah, that is beautiful. Absolutely stunning. That is really nice. I've been along the Oak Canyon Trail before branching off on the Fortuna Saddle Trail. I've done that before, but I haven't been on this upper part here looking down like this. Very beautiful. These little tributaries probably have little cascades during the rainier periods. Yeah, this is definitely breathtaking over here. Look how thick the chaparral is down there, that shadier slope. Let's look back up towards Hill 619. Yeah, I can see the Oak Canyon Trail down there. I'll be taking that on the way back, so I don't have to reclimb all the other peaks today. All right, time for some photos. Alright, we are just about down by the Oak Canyon Trail. It's been so incredibly hot this winter. Poison oak's already leafing out. That's crazy. It's already been leafing out for a couple weeks already, it looks like. That's one thing you'll have to watch out and avoid. Yeah, and even the sycamores are already starting to leaf out. Sycamore trees are pretty early to leaf out, but I mean, right now, considering felt like basically midsummer in a way. It's not surprising. Look at that, nice rocks. Okay, so we're going to cross Oak Canyon Creek. Well, this should be a pretty easy crossing here. Just gotta step over these rocks, no big deal. We're gonna join the Oak Canyon Trail. Pretty cool. So my return route will be this way. I'll be returning this way, but for now I'm gonna be heading up this way. It's been a while since I've been over here. Last time I was over this far in Oak Canyon was 3 years ago, January of 2023. 37 months ago. I did the Fortunas. So here we are, Oak Canyon. You got to see it from above. Now you get to see it from within. Very beautiful here. Very beautiful. Look, there's a pretty big chamise right here too. Pretty tall one. I think on the way back we might be able to see the little cascade too. Since water's running here, should be able to have some form of water falling off. Okay. Oh, this is part of the Fortuna Saddle Trail here too. Interesting. And trying to get up to Fortuna Saddle. It's a little bit shorter way. This is the Fortuna Saddle Trail. This one becomes very steep. Very shortly, it branches off on that power line access trail. Now, I'm staying on the Oak Canyon Trail. Go further in than I've ever gone on this trail. Look at these California sycamores. There's a little small patch of them here. A lot of poison oak here, so just stay on the trail. Stay in the middle of it. All right. Very beautiful here. Has a lot of poison oak here. Just watch where you step. In fact, I'm going to be very careful when I go through this tunnel. Okay. Oh, this is pretty nice. Oh, we're right through a grove of Ceanothus tomentosus. Oh yeah, I think I've seen somebody's video on this part of the trail once before. Yeah, this is, wow, this is enchanted. Oh wow, this is pretty cool. We're in a little miniature forest of Ceanothus tomentosus. Okay, what we got coming out over here? Let's see. Here's some more of it blooming. Look at that. Yeah, it's honeybee right here. Taking full advantage. Let's see. Hope it's not overgrown over here with poison oak. Hopefully I can get by it. Yeah. Trail's pretty good over here. Just stay in the middle of it so you don't brush up against that plant. Very beautiful here. It's my first time on this part of it. Yeah, look at that. That is very beautiful. And a little coast live oak tree. Quercus agrifolia, Verde agrifolia. And another small patch of California sycamores. Wow. Pretty darn nice. Time for a few pictures. Oh man, this is absolutely breathtaking. Look at some large shrubs here. Look at this. Pretty big laurel sumac. Almost as big as this young sycamore. Right there, right across Oak Creek. It's a big toyon. It's a massive toyon right there. Oh man, right behind that sycamore. And again, we're keeping careful. Oh, even poison oak's even blooming. That's crazy. Ooh, what we got here? Chaparral, San Diego sweet pea. And that's already blooming. San Diego sweet pea. Lathyrus vestitus variety Alipheldi. Pretty cool. Starting to bloom. Now we're in a laurel sumac woodland here. Boy, this trail definitely packs a lot of scenic surprises. And of course, spiny redberry. Ceanothus tomentosus cousin. Yeah, little woodland. Man, this is some pretty good scenery here, I'll tell you. Now we're going to come out here. Whew, boy, yeah. This is a whole vibe here. Not gonna lie. This is a whole vibe here. Northern Oak Canyon. Well, northern part of the trail. Oak Canyon continues under the 52, but I'm not sure if that's fully on Marine Corps Air Station Miramar property. I know part of it is, especially on the west side. I think the trail itself, I think it continues. I think. Sheesh, man, this is different. This is a whole different vibe over here. That's why I love canyons too. Canyon topography has always amazed me ever since childhood. Whew, boy. Yeah, I think this area is a whole different vibe because the canyon narrows and everything is close together. Gosh. Yeah, man, this is absolutely stunning over here. Ooh. It's been a while since I've come across this guy. San Diego Mountain Mahogany. Cercocarpus minutiflorus. Pretty cool. Pretty neat. Wow. It's swimming around in there. Tadpoles. I got tadpoles swimming around in here. Wow. I saw some tadpoles wiggling around in the water. Pretty cool. Be careful, don't step on them, step on the rocks. Cool. Alright. Keep on trucking on this. Okay. Across the creek a little bit. Okay, this is where the trail goes now. I think. Yeah, it looks like it. A little rockier here. Ladyfingers. Dudleya edulis. Picking up here on this shady side of the canyon. Okay. Alright, let's see. Okay, looks like the trail kind of zigzags up here. Pretty cool. So it's a whole vibe over here. Okay. So that's where the water runs. You can hear it. underneath. Wow. Like I said, this is a pretty different vibe out here. Definitely hear some water cascading on the other side of the rocks. Let's see if I can see it from this angle. Oh, cool. I don't even have to really do any true rock scrambling either. Let's see. Should be able to see a little cascade action over here. Let's get down this a little bit. You'll see some cascades and a little bit of cascade action. Cool. Yep. Yeah, this is pretty wild. Yeah, these canyons are something else, I'll tell you. These canyons are something else. That's like a good picnic spot, as long as you clean up after yourself. Cool. Sure, it's a lot more active after it rains or when it's raining. Yeah, this is breathtaking. Okay, cascade here. Mission Trails. Got a pretty good pool over here. Not super deep, but it looks like it's probably about 2-3 feet deep. Yeah, look at this, man. This is a pretty sick canyon. Never been over to this part. Look at that. These rocks. That water's a little deeper over here, I think. Look at this. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. It's a pretty sweet deal. And, botanically speaking of sweet deals, we got ourselves a hollyleaf cherry. Looks like this one's got some age to it. You see it's kind of clinging into the rocks here. Prunus ilicifolia, subspecies ilicifolia. I already see the beginnings of flower buds right on the tip of this branch here. Right where my index finger is pointing. That's the beginning of the flower buds already. This thing's been here for a while, probably for decades. Yeah, this is pretty darn impressive. Alright, I'm going to get a few pictures around here and then I'm going to get back on the trail on the other side of the canyon. Alright, so I'm back on the trail. Just going to keep on taking this. There's California 52 above us. Alright. Start heading towards 52 and try to catch up with the junction of the Fortuna Perimeter Trail. Just about through the junction of the North Fortuna Perimeter Trail. Okay. These are the type of inclines typified on this trail. Let's see. So I'm gonna look for way up to Hill 860. Let's see how this works. Okay, so don't go straight. You're gonna bring left here. You're not gonna go on that single track. All right. So we're gonna start going up the inclines. Oh, some of these get pretty steep, so just take your time and just handle business. Yeah, a little different vibe out here, despite the sound of the freeway traffic. Pretty mellow, quiet vibe out here. Yeah, starting to catch up some white flowered currant. Rebes indicorum. Seen a couple of these out here. So we go up and down these little miniature arroyos. Guessing this one probably comes up from down there and probably gushes through here. Wow, pretty neat. Ah, we got San Diego marsh elder again. Cool. Eva haziana. All right, so we got to climb that hill. That's not going to be Hill 860. That's not really a freestanding hill. It's like it just connects to the ridge. I assume it's going to be, I think it's the next one after, but we'll see. So we get these short climbs, maybe a brief downhill, and then another climb. It's supposed to be pretty typical of this trail. So that's the next climb right there. Some California poppy showing up too. Schultzia californica. Here's California bush sunflower, Salea californica. The previous pictures had a San Diego bush sunflower. A couple of those that were blooming along here. Gonna get ready for the next mound to climb. Yeah, it's very beautiful here too. There's a lot of beautiful laurel sumac growing here too. A lot of it. All right, let's get ready for my next climb. It's gonna be a short but definitely doozy climb. Looks pretty steep. So, oh, look at this shit. Look at this. Underneath this laurel sumac is a whole miniature ecosystem. Narrowleaf bed straw. Even some black sage in here too. Wow. Monkey flower. Man. Pretty cool. Okay. Time for the next knob to climb. Here we go. Okay, so I'm up here now. Woo! Pretty steep. Got that one up ahead. I think that's gonna be my hill. Should be hill 860. It's 52. Part of Marine Corps Air Station Europe. Some views up on top of this. Wow. Let's see, how steeply do I have to go down? Time for the thumbnail. Alright, so that appears to be hill 860 right there. Now, I got a steep elevation loss here. I'll have to gain on the way back out. But yeah, I think that should be hill 860. First though, I think I should take a sip of water. It's gonna get really steep. So that's gonna be my my hill right there, hill 860. I think it's the highest point along this part of the trail. Obviously, North Fortuna Mountains over 400 feet higher, but I'm not going that way today. Not today, I gotta work tomorrow. So that's gonna be my turnaround point up there. So, see you the way there. Okay, so it wasn't as much of a descent as I thought it was gonna be from up there. A little slippery on the way down. Got some blue elder popping up here. A young sapling blue elder. Sambucus, really a very handsome young specimen here. Alright. Now it's time for the next steep climb. So this should be my hill. You got some pretty good views up towards North Fortuna. Pretty nice views up there. Very beautiful shot. Now I'm going to start climbing this. Just got to take my time. And in a little bit, I should be on top of the peak. Hill 860. It's not, all it is on the topo maps, all it's represented by is a 860-foot contour ring on the topo maps. I'm surprised this wasn't put on Peak Bagger. Alright, well, the last uphill I did was rocky and steep and loose, so take my time and focus on the task at hand. See, well, I'm just about up there. So that's why I have to climb on the way back out. Steep, but not super long, which is good. All right, time to go up this. Still working my way up this. Pretty steep, but it's not too bad. Probably feel more slippery on the way down. Wondering if this is actually going to be a false summit. I'm wondering. Kind of wondering. I don't know. Kind of hope not. Like I said, didn't plan to be out all day today, considering I have to go to work tomorrow. So, we'll see. Should see pretty soon up ahead. Yeah, looks like I'm getting pretty close. Starting to get pretty close, actually. So I'm gonna get some good views up here too. Not 360. Well, Yeah, I get some to the south towards the Fortunas. But I'm working my way up. Shouldn't be that much longer before I'm on top of Hill 860. All right. Okie dokie. All right. Well, here we go. All right. This is it. Hill 860. Second peak of the day. Whew. Already tiring out. Whew. I've been doing a fair amount of hiking in the last week. Nothing extraordinarily long, but in the last week, since early afternoon last Thursday, I've summited 8 hills and peaks. So looks like I'm back in peak climber mode after a few weeks of pretty much nothing. So this is Hill 860. Highest peak north of North Fortuna Mountain. It's not a hugely prominent hill. It only has maybe about 80 feet on this side before the next rises that go higher. But this side, yeah, coming from this side's definitely more. All right, so I'm gonna get a summit selfie. I guess we'll start pointing out some views, because we do get some views up here. Alright, I'm going to start by looking south and work my way counterclockwise like I usually do. So that is up towards North Fortuna Mountain. We are just north of it, or more to the northeast of it. So this is looking roughly south. Then we're going to be looking southeast out by Kuchama, aka Takate Peak. You see Lions Peak. And I can see Lawson, Gaskill, Corte Madera, Los Pinos. Sorry about that. Had a little itch on my forehead. So yeah. And I can see over towards the east, I can see Viejas. Looking northeast, Cuyamaca, El Cajon Mountain. And I can even see North Peak left of El Cajon Mountain. Northeast, the Vulcan Mountains. Northeast, running the gamut from Iron Mountain, North Iron Mountain, and on the left, Woodson Mountain. Palomar, in the way background. Just looking north now. This is all part of the Marine Corps Air Station Miramar. It's all government land here. And over there, poking above, is Black Mountain and Rancho Penasquitos there in the center. Now we're looking roughly west towards more of Marine Corps Air Station Miramar and L 3052. Southwest towards the lower ramparts of, again, North Fortuna Mountain area. So yeah, we do get some views up here. Not 360, but yeah, I get some pretty nice views up here. I'm not going to linger too long because I started working my way back down. do have a little bit of a hike back to the car. It's 10:45. It's not too bad, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna take a few pictures up here and start working my way back. So up here we got some pretty low growing chaparral. Of course, chamise being one of the highest quantity. And then we also got some mission manzanita as we start getting ready to duck down towards the north facing slopes where it'll be a little more moisture retentive. I saw something else up here. I don't know if I remember ever seeing it here at Mission Trails, but I've seen it here now. Or I saw it just before I summited. Where did I see it? Oh, I saw it. I think maybe I saw it just before getting up here. I guess I'll have to descend just a little bit. No, I saw it. Ah, here we go. Right in the middle there. Bushroo. No, we didn't do most of them. I've seen a couple of them up here. See on the trail though. Yeah, we have some bushroo. I don't know if I remember ever seeing it here at Mission Trails before. Can't remember off the top of my head. I don't think I have. Now I'm going to have to go ahead and descend this slope, which is going to be a little trickier because it's downhill. And you and gravity are basically working together. I'm going to have to really be careful going down this. Especially I have to go down that other pretty steep one. Yeah, of course, lots of black sage up here. Yeah, time for me to start working my way back. That was my turnaround for this hike. Not planning on going to any other peaks or any other spots. And I will see you with some periodic updates on the way back. All right, I made it down from peak 860, slowly and methodically. Now, after this short dip here, it's time to go up again. Hey boy, time to go uphill again. Ay, ay, ay. So here I go, uphill again. Here we go. Back up to the top of this. This is where it got a little slippery on the way down. Since I'm going up, doesn't feel as much. All right, see you on the next clip. All right, back over this hump. And now it's time for another steep downhill. Hey, here we go again. The rest of it shouldn't be too bad. Whee. Here I go again. I have to take my time on this one too. This one was pretty steep. All right. So here we go once again. Another steep downhill, very rocky. So I just have to take my time going down this. All right, away I go for more steep downhill. All right, so I'm down from that now. That one's pretty darn steep. Not gonna lie, that was little tent's going down. Might be better if you have trekking poles with you. I was hoping there was going to be a little more cloud cover. It's not really that hot, but because it is about 11 o'clock right now, it is going to definitely be warming up a bit. Look at that. Here's that little Laurel sumac micro ecosystem here. Pretty neat. Alright. Work through this tributary. Back to Oak Canyon. Back in a little bit. Alright, so it looks like I got another short, but again, steep, rocky descent. Then a nice little quick mound to ascend. I just came over another small mound. So I'm just basically following the way I came until I get to Oak Canyon. I'm going to follow Oak Canyon to the grasslands loop trail, so I don't have to climb back over hill 619. I'm trying to minimize how much elevation gain I have on the way back out, plus vary up the scenery just a little bit. Alright, so once again, taking my time going down this, and I got a small rise. In a little bit I should be back in Oak Canyon proper. I'm going to start taking the Oak Canyon Trail to the south. Keep you updated. Alright, now we're going to finish descending into Oak Canyon. Back on the Oak Canyon Trail in a few minutes. See you in Oak Canyon. All right, we are just about down to Oak Canyon. Beautiful Laurel sumac right here on the junction. Trails between Mission Gorge Road and State Road 52. Oh, that's just a little miniature map. So this, I guess, continues northbound under the 52. I don't know how far you can go. It'd still be legal. Yeah, look at this beautiful Laurel sumac right here. Right here on the edge. It's beautiful specimens here. And a pretty large mule fat right here too. So we're still on the North Fortuna perimeter trail. But we're gonna branch off onto the Oak Canyon Trail very soon. Yeah, pretty scenic hike here. Here we are. Part of Oak Creek Canyon's flows. Very nice. Very beautiful, the seawater. See, the North Fortuna Perimeter Trail continues up that way. So we got just under a mile at the junction of the Grasslands Loop. So we're going to continue as I've just turned back onto the Oak Canyon Trail. I'm going to start following this. I'm going to keep booking it through Oak Canyon. Oh, look at this. Southern California Virgins bowers are starting to bloom. Clematis passiflora. Much smaller than our other natives, Clematis lacciantha and Ligustifolia. They have much larger flowers. But this plant, in my experience, is much more common and equally as beautiful. Love when that plant blooms. And it gets the same type of little tufted, feathery seed heads that its big cousins get, only again on smaller scale. But not on smaller scale of beauty, just smaller scale of size. Alright, so we're going to be passing by the small cascades section momentarily. There's supposed to be, I think, more cascades down the way. Take the low road today. So I'm going to be passing through scenic Oak Canyon. Alright. I'll see you on the way around Oak Canyon. Canum. Higher up, you got Epilobium canum latifolium, broader leaves. There's that mountain mahogany again, Cercocarpus minutiflorus. Nice, beautiful specimen too. Yep. This old buckwheat. Oh my gosh. Nice, multi-trunked little sumac thicket. Right. Yep. Crossing this a few more times. very soon we're going to hit the junction of the Fortuna Saddle Trail, which again I'm not taking. Already done enough climbing for the day. Here, a group of hikers coming down from Fortuna Saddle. There's a junction right there. I'm going to stay straight. Keep going back. So that's from once I came earlier. Joining this, I think I came from that way. Pretty sure. Oh no. That was the Fortuna Saddle Trail. I was going along this. I'm tripping. So luscious out here. Very nice. There's that tall chamise again, so yeah, I came from this way. It was the Fortuna Perimeter Trail that kind of wiggles its way around. Alright. See you beyond that junction. Yeah, I think that's the way I came down there earlier. I'm just going to stay straight here, the Oak Canyon Trail. Stay on this until I get back to Grasslands Loop in about a half mile. Some more gentle cascade action here too. Probably hear it a little bit. These pools are a little deeper. Very nice, very nice, very beautiful. Okay, let's see what else I keep finding on this trail. Yeah, it's such a scenic spot. Lemonade berry, Rhus integrifolia. Haven't seen a whole lot of this today, but it's definitely abundant in parts of this park. Starting to bloom. Looking beautiful. Yeah. Oak Canyon. It's a very, very beautiful spot. Ooh, we got some California polypodies. These ferns. Polypodium californicum. Yeah. Yeah. This is a pretty beautiful canyon. Pretty rocky, so just, pay attention where you're going. Watch where you step. It's not a technically difficult canyon. Trail for the most part is pretty easy to follow. So just pay attention, you'll be fine. Can't really beat the scenery though. Wow, look at that. Yeah, that sycamore tree is already leafing out. That's crazy. This part's pretty rocky. Like I said, just watch where you step. Just pay attention. You'll be fine. There are some places where there's a little bit of a easy workaround. You just keep looking where you're going. Yep. Oh. Creek, Oak Canyon Creek. There's a coast live oak, Quercus agrifolia, variety agrifolia. One of the few actual oak trees in this part of the canyon. Further down, you'll see more oak trees. Some older ones too, in fact. Probably where this canyon got its name. Alright, I'm gonna have to get some batteries soon. Just watch out, there's also some roots on the trail, so just watch where you step. Take your time. Enjoy the scenery up here. Alright, found another cascade. Another small one. Since we are generally going down canyon. Oh wow. That's so nice to see. Pretty sure it gets a lot rougher when it's raining. Actually, last time I took this whole trail, well, this trail all the way up to Fortuna Saddle Trail, it was actually a mixture of light rain and drizzle, and it had been raining a lot beforehand. That was a lot more water, but still very beautiful here. Beautiful here now. Even with not quite as much water, but there still is water here. Getting pretty close to the Grasslands Loop area. And an old favorite of mine. I've been by this shrub a few times now. But we've got a pretty decent sized hollyleaf cherry right here, lurking over the water. Look at that. There's another one over there too. But yeah, here. Yeah, I've been by this shrub a few times. It's getting flower buds starting to develop on it too. Prunus ilicifolia, subspecies ilicifolia, hollyleaf cherry. It does occasionally pop up here at Mission Trails in the backcountry. Over by the trailheads in Father Juniperosera, it's planted along Father Juniperosera quite a bit. So it does pop up very frequently, especially near the Mission Dam portion of Father Juniperosera. Mission Dam and Kumeyaay Lake areas. They planted it there and it's doing very well. Alright, time to keep on trucking. Okay, now we're entering the oaks of Oak Canyon. Again, coast live oaks. So we should be hiking in the shade for a while. I'm starting to feel kind of warm. It's not ridiculously hot, but it's definitely warming up. Nice to get some oak shade. Now with the sun angle still relatively low in the sky, especially November through February, you do get some shady spots on the chaparral side. Yeah, I remember this poor old oak. Remember when it was still just hanging on to life. Fortunately, it's been gone for a few years now. It was a massive coast live oak. Alright. Okay, here we go. Right over the bridge. So we do get some oaks, and we're starting to get caterpillars again, like before. Yeah, it's definitely getting up well into the 70s now. Oh, some shade. But it's beautiful. Younger coast live oaks here. There's the old oak tree. Really old coast live oak. And you can tell it'd fallen over. It's me. It's the oak tree. No, please don't carve on me. Don't worry. I don't plan on it. Yep, I remember this bad boy. This bad mamma jamma. Monster trunk. Tree probably fell over decades ago. And rather than succumbing, it just said, I'm going to keep pushing on. I've seen a couple of these coast live oaks that do this. I've seen a few trees that do this. They'll fall over and you think, oh, it's gone, it's over. Nah, not necessarily. Sometimes they just say, you know what? I'm about that life. I'm going to handle this. I'm going to be all right. And thankfully, this coast live oak did just that. And continues to grow. Probably after a few centuries of age. I'd imagine this spring was knocked over probably decades ago. Pretty cool. Get some pictures of this before I keep heading on. This tree is over 300 years old. See, I knew it was a few centuries old. Cool. I'm with it. All right. Oh, breeze. Oh, yeah. That feels good. Yeah, there's our tree right here. Beautiful Quercus agrifolia, Brady agrifolia. Not the Grasslands Loop Trail. What the heck was that? Yikes, startled the heck out of me. Alright. Okay, remember this sign. Fortuna's to the left. Grasslands Loop Trail. Alright. Guess I'm going to have to work my way around this way. Hopefully this will take me. Should take me back where I came out. Nice little sumac right there. Looks like I'll have a little climbing to do on the way out. What's this? Oh yeah, I remember that big little sumac. Alright, away I go. Oh, here's another junction leading to the Oak Canyon Trail. Crazy. I came up on the Grasslands Loop. I just gotta go wind my way around this way. There's Hill 619 again. looks like hill 597, which I'm not going to climb today. And we're climbing. Except whatever uphill I have on this trail, which I have a little bit leading up towards that area. Alright. Alright. So this is where I'm heading now. I'm going to go branch off to the right. Start climbing up towards that way, it looks like. Wait. This isn't a trail, is it? I guess this is. I was pointing this way. Alright. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and turn right and see if this leads me where I'm, hopefully where I'm going to be needing to go, to the East Fortuna. I think that's the North Fortuna perimeter trail that I was taking earlier. See if this links up with it. I assume it will, but I'll find out. Alright, so I've been just very gently strolling along this for the last several minutes. Going down towards the basin there. I can see the East Fortuna staging area is just over there. So we'll get down to some trail junctions. And my next turn will be a left. I think I'll take the next one that's up ahead. Probably about 80-100 yards away. Alright. Branch off here. Take this trail. Should start leading me towards the East Fortuna staging area. So I'm back on the North Fortuna perimeter trail. From earlier. Here's hill 597. Hill 609 is hidden from view, kinda. Alright. Won't be that much longer before I'm back. Once I came, hopping over here, I'm going to follow this back down this way. All right. It's getting a little hazy, but you can still see those inland peaks of Cleveland National Forest out that way pretty nicely. Still starting to get another cloud, thin veil of high-level clouds. Cirrostratus, cirrocumulus, and cirrus starting to work their way up this way. I'll just go where that bike is going. All right. See you along the way. For a little quickie update, that's where once I came. Beautiful willow cottonwood grove here. Right here in the little basin. Not that far. Should be back in a few minutes. Mostly just level walk back. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Should be back at the East Fortuna staging area within a couple of minutes. Yeah, I've got another water crossing up ahead. Should be the last one. So this is water coming out of Spring Canyon here. This one here comes out of Spring Canyon, just to our north. And technically, this is kind of the mouth of Spring Canyon. So here we are, one last water crossing. This one's got a little more water in it. Let's see if I can get across this without eating dirt like the first time. I remember one time I crossed through here and I fell and got muddy. Let's see if I can get through this without that. Okay, I gotta concentrate. Catch on the other side. Yeah, had to balance myself. My shoes were damp, so I got slippery. Hop on that little rock, hop the rest of the way. I don't know why, but I'm really beat. Ay, ay, ay. I just gotta walk the rest of the way to the car. I should be there pretty soon. A little right turn right after that gate, and I'm just about back at the car, right in this lot. This is gonna do it for me. Parked right across the lot. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed coming along with me today. See you next week on my next hike. Thanks for watching.